For your wire project, the first thing that you have to do is to select an object that you're going to use as a frame of reference from your house. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, it shouldn't be anything super detailed, but it shouldn't be anything that is super plain either. Something in the middle where you know you will be able to complete that project within the 2-week span that you have to work for. I have a few objects that I normally get or questions about if these are good or not good objects to select for this project, for the wire project, in which we're going to be working with the element of line. First I'm going to say is a paintbrush. It does fit kind of the size. It's less than a foot tall, more than 4 inches taller, so it's got that for it. But if you look at it from the side, it's relatively flat. If we take to the heart of the course that we're working as a 3-dimensional design art course, this would not be a good object because it does not have that much depth, even though it has height and width. So not that it's a bad object, it's just that it won't fit the specifics of this class. So not a paintbrush or any object that is super duper thin. Well, what about glasses, right? Those are relatively thin, but you can adjust them and move them to where they do have depth. And I have had people make glasses out of wire before, but it's actually a lot harder than you might think because there's such few details in them. It's very noticeable if something is off. So if you absolutely want to use glasses, you can, but honestly you're going to give yourself a hard time with this one. So glasses are a common question. Light bulb, we're getting there. We have height, width, and depth. It's 3-dimensional. It's a little bit short on the short side. So you're working in a more confined space. So again, every minute detail of the wire or your line is going to be easier to see. So unless you are interested in working in superfine detail, don't go with the light bulb. I have had 1 or 2 successes of students that picked light bulbs before, but it is a difficult object. If you've got a brother or a sister or a cousin, they've probably got a bunch of toys that have a moderate amount of detail. Still simple enough to where we can put them into simple lines and a few contours to be able to describe them. So this is actually more of what we're looking for. It's not that tall. It's got height and width and depth. It doesn't have too much detail. It's something that we could definitely accomplish within the 2-week span.